I'm Greg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room. Election day just 13 days away, and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is battling backlash with his business endeavors. His latest line of hotels have already dropped the Trump name. His daughter Ivanka is facing a boycott push on her Ivanka Trump clothing line. Could Trump's race to the White House have lasting effect on his brand, or will things go back to normal after the general election? Joining me now, Democratic strategist David Mercer, Republican strategist Brad Blakeman. Welcome to you both.
Thanks.
Good to be with you. All of the controversy and indeed some of the scandals surrounding Donald Trump really damaged the Trump name and image for the purpose of his businesses. David?
They certainly have, and who knows where it'll end. It started with declining poll numbers. It started with him not paying campaign policy staff. The recent departure of his political advisor and lead strategist on Get Out the Vote only 2 weeks before the actual election. They're abandoning him in droves, whether it be elected officials, whether it be women. In fact, we're now seeing in polls even men are starting to defect. And the only quarter he's got left is the internet. So he's taking to having a little discussion at 6:30 in the evenings with his supporters, spewing the same vitriol and hatred that led to a decline in what I just mentioned, but also in the name, in the brand. And just as much as they're trying to pull that from properties he owns, they're also trying to figure out what is going to be best to clean up the GOP brand with the Trump name associated with it.
Brad, speaking of brands, the Trump brand used to be incredibly valuable, and in fact he makes most of his money by simply licensing his name for apartments and condos and other projects. Might those partners that pay him that money decide we don't want to have anything to do with the name Trump or the person Trump, pull out of those partnerships, and that would be, I mean, his revenue suddenly dries up?
Look, it's certainly possible if he loses, but if he wins, his brand is going to go through the roof. And if he were to lose, yeah, he's going to have a problem. We've already seen that. There was an announcement the other day that some of his hotels have spun off another name called Scion. And that it could be expected that the Trump name will come off some hotels and this new brand name will appear. Look, licensees...
Yeah, but why would anybody want to buy the name Scion and pay the Trump name premium,
Exactly, but look, if I'm a licensee and I see the benefit of my bargain based on his name not coming through, I'm going to think of ways to get out of the contract, certainly, because it's all about bottom line, what I was promised, the value of the name, and then his disparagement of it with the political campaign and some of the things he's done. So I think it's certainly possible. We may even be seeing it with this new brand of hotel branding that we're seeing under the Trump brand. So yes, I think if he does lose, he's going to have certainly a effect on the brand.
And
the
David,
question is how long-lasting will it be?
David, it's interesting. Mark Cuban, who of course is a Hillary Clinton supporter, although he didn't used to be, he predicted recently that Donald Trump's going to go bankrupt. Now that may be overstating it, but he may take a serious financial hit.
Well, I don't think it's overstating, given that he's gone into bankruptcy 5 or 6 times before, and now he's on the big stage with a lot of exposure and did not represent the brand nor himself well for the Republican Party or his businesses. Just recently, you had the IMF, the World Bank in here, hotel rooms sold out across Washington, D.C., except for one. People would not book into the hotel because they didn't want to be associated with all that we have seen Trump to stand for. And that's why you see the decline in his brand, his business, be it now or in the future, and you're going to see the decline when it comes, unlike what Brad was alluding to, November 8th, when he does, in fact, I believe, lose.
Well, if it does happen like that, Brad, he's not just hurting himself and his own income, but the family, the kids, right?
Sure, no doubt about it. The question is, he has premier properties. If he takes the Trump name off the properties, there's still location, location, location.
Yeah, but he doesn't own all of those. I mean, he licenses his name in partnership.
That's right.
I mean, he does own some properties.
That's true, and we really don't even know what his balance sheet is. And I know David's going to say, well, release his tax returns. But the bottom line is, when you run for president and you put your name out there, you have a great risk, not only personally but also business-wise.
Yeah, and you know, the other sort of sidebar to this, David, we'll have to make it very quick, is, you know, I mean, he bragged that he's worth X number of billions of dollars, never released the tax returns. Others say he's not worth nearly what he claims he is worth. Is the proof of the pudding really in the amount of money he spent himself on his own campaign? He says he spent $100 million. That doesn't seem to be true. But he got outspent big time, and that may have made the difference.
Well, I think it does make a difference, and in fact, while he may have contributed to the campaign, he certainly sought to make that back. I mean, you even have the Secret Service paying him to be part of the contingent on the jet that he flies. Okay?
As a matter of fact, there may be an obligation, David, for them to do that.
They're paying it
can't
to
fly
Donald
for nothing.
Trump. Okay, just
Why,
my
it's his
point.
plane.
Okay. Right. Somehow Donald, in all these ventures, he's the one that makes out when either stakeholders
the Clintons
or employees
make out.
get stiff.
Pay to play.
Okay.
That's the big difference.
We'll leave it at pay to play, because that works both sides of the aisle. David and Brad, good to see you both. For more on the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.